You mentioned the word control a few times, and I think when I first started meditating, I was someone that was very, very comfortable and, craved control around experience and, all these things. And so then the idea of just really controlling your experience down to the very narrow breath was almost just adding to that and
Yeah.
adding to that layer versus, I think experiencing, frankly, it was scary, releasing control, welcoming, everything.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious, like when people start to make that shift, what is the felt sense of that? Like what is the experience that they might encounter in their body? What opens up for them when they do that?
Mm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. So for most people, there's a kind of going through a fear around that releasing of control and of what appears when they are not controlling. And and yet there's also a sense of relief, a sense of softening in their chests, softening when they really enter the attitude that it's not. Oh, let me say it this way. And this will sound a little strange, maybe, so you may need to let me know if it connects. People need to get over the shame of their own minds and the shame of their own bodies. And what I mean by that is most of us, or at least many of us, um, have the sense that if someone else could see what goes on in here, really the dark places, really the sexual places, the aggressive places, the insecure places, if they could see the totality of what appears in my inner world, I would be really embarrassed. And when we see that in ourselves, there's some part of us that maybe we know it goes on in other people, but we feel somehow there's something wrong, or some kind of embarrassment or shame. And I think to go through that and end up being our own best friend and finding out I can sit with myself. The French philosopher Pascal, back in 1670, talked about all unhappiness in humans comes from um, not being able to be comfortable in their own chamber. He
Mm,
called this their own chamber,
mm,
meaning their own experience, right?
yeah.
Their own experience. And that's really feels accurate, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It sounds like, and this is certainly my experience, for a lot of us, we have a narrow range of experience and even of ourselves that feels safe.
Nice, yes.
And there's a way that the practices you're describing are really opening up and welcoming and expanding that sense of safety.
Really beautifully put. Yeah. And safety is the key. That is the um, what the organism, what the brain is conditioned from the very beginning to. Is this a safe space? That has to be there for us to breathe easily, for us to open to the moment. And expanding that sense of safety, what happens? The body softens. And that's not just an extra thing, that's a central thing. And the capacity for greater intimacy with others can come. So much of our control system keeps us away from that intimacy. And getting more comfortable with our various voices inside, getting more comfortable with what appears, also tends to soften our judgments of others, tends to make us more available for love and for deepening connectivity, which really is what satisfies and fulfills a human being in many, many ways.